Hello there and welcome to the next Power BI exercise video. And in this video, we will be picking up the week 8 exercise of Power BI switching measures. Something very important if you are designing efficient reports or if you are designing any sort of mobile report. So like they are saying, this method can be especially useful like switching metrics is basically the method. Useful designing reports for mobile use. Toggling between metrics allows you to save real estate on your report and allow your users to focus on one metric at a time. So like this is a real app as you can see. So you have the revenues. If you click on total expenses, you see the total expenses. But when it is changing, see the color that is changing. So if I click on, let's say, total profits, everything is changed to green. And if you observe, there is a lot going on over here. First thing first is the configuration of these three different measures. That's number one. Number two is, if you see this sort of a banner, which is giving it a good look and feel that everything is inside this particular box or inside this panel. And then you have these visualizations, which is what is the total revenue what is for current year, previous year, YOY, and then this is also changing in green color, and this bar chart is also changing in green color. So also this color is matching with revenues. For example, when you click on revenues, this is like some dark green, this is light green, and this is, I think, the not dark gray, but sort of dark bluish sort of a color, or faded out with gray. So we'll pick up these type of colors, if not exactly similar, then closely resemble to that, and we'll see how we can design such a report, which you can see is very focused report. Also, another interesting idea is that if you have, let's say, multiple measures, multiple dimensions, then you can maybe create 3 or 4, if not 4, maybe 3 is a good group, like 3 group in your dashboard, where one talk about, let's say, revenue, expenses and profit, financial metric, maybe the marketing metrics, and maybe the HR metrics. If it is like a very high level sort of a dashboard, your senior leadership is looking into it, then all this information at one single page. Okay, so how we can develop this is something what we will look into it. And down there, if you see, you have the requirement, and data set is the NCAA data set, which we have used in the first and second exercises. So if I come over here, these are the exercises that I have documented for you: connecting and modeling data, basic report, and I think even in the report interactivity, if I'm not wrong, at least in the first two, I clearly remember that this is there. Also, we can check it over here. So yeah, first, second, third, and even the fourth report is containing the same exercise. So all these exercises, is present here. The link is here, over here, as you can see. Also, this Google Sheet link is present in the description, so that you can come to this Google Sheet, view all of the previous videos that is there along with the exercise link. And then I keep the record of the exercise. Also, I keep a record of all my Power BI feature explainer video, like how you can connect to data, the visualization. So I have recorded a lot of videos. Right now, I think it is 195 or 97 videos, right? That's the last video what I created. Again, can be very useful, like using slicer to navigate multiple reports or dashboard. So all of this is present here with the link in the column B. Okay, so you can come here, the link is present in the description, and you can come over here and utilize all this. And I'm keeping, since I am recording this one right now, I'm keeping a record of this. Once it is published, I will publish the link over here. Since also this is a live Google Sheet, so it will always be updated with all my future videos. Let's say tomorrow, if I come up with any other category, then I will probably create a new tab, and you will have the most up-to-date experience. Okay, so this is where you have the exercise. So what I'm going to do is I'm picking up the same dashboard that we have created. If you have not seen it, this is a data model that is present over here. You have the school dimension, finances, fact, conference name. This is something what I created when I was attempting this exercise number 8, switching measure. So what I'll do is I will just close this, right? So if I just go here and delete it, because I want to show you from the scratch as to how it needs to be done. And very interesting thing what I found in this is as well about the tables, because when I was attempting it, I was taking a certain direction, but in between I had to change it a little bit just to make sure it is matching up the requirements. Okay, with that information, let's see what it is. So first thing first is we have to create these three. We can create all of this piece. If you want to start from formatting, that's also okay, because this is, you can see, sort of a mobile report. So if we come over here and in the page, you have the canvas setting. What is 16:9:43? Letter. What is? Yeah, letter is looks like good. This is how it will be, or you can choose custom. I can go with the letter. I think this is fine. And then in this section only, all of my information will be coming. The second thing is it is all grayed out, so it has the canvas background, and we will change it to gray. And transparency, we will reduce it to, let's say, 50%. And I don't know why Power BI do that. If you see, I have changed the color, but because the transparency was 100%, so I was not seeing an impact. And you may get an idea, even I got the idea very first time, like, I am changing color and nothing is happening. I'm selecting anything. Why it is not changing the color? So I don't know why they have kept the default transparency at 100%. Okay, so yeah, just I will keep it like 50%. It's good. Threshold. Okay, so now I have a canvas, and then we need to keep this quick text box. Okay, I'm in a sec. I need to press Alt Tab. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so here I will use the text box, and this is NCAA financials. NCAA. I know you won't be able to see it, so what I'll do is NCAA financial. Let me write everything, and then so it is like revenues, expenses, and profit. Revenues, comma, expenses, and profit. Right? Come on, there we go. Wrap that up a little bit, and here change this to what, 24? 28. Yeah, this is fine. We can make it bold as well. For this, we need to go one by one. Nope, 36 will be big. 24 is, I think, good enough. What is that? 24. Yes. And then we have this. Let's just change this to a little bit small, maybe 18. 20. 20 looks good. Let's see the color. Dark, sort of dark green, light green, and dark blue. This is what I will take, at least. Let's see what color we have over here. Okay, so looks like, is it me? I don't see any sort of green color. It's all this and this. Okay. What I can do is I can take this and maybe keep it like dark blue instead of dark green, and keeping this as little bit light blue, right? And keep this just to follow a little bit same methodology, and I will keep this, watch this, yeah, should be good. That's the only thing we need to now remember, color. What if we are making it a little bit bold? will this going to work? Revenue, expenses, and profit. Yeah, hopefully. But again, this is a very personal choice. How do you want to do that? So should be good. And for this effects background, I will just make a transparency 100%, and then it should look like that it is part of the background. Okay. Second thing is there is this line, right? So we can add a line, no issues, just so that it is all. There you go, very beautiful. Come on. Okay. All right. Style, color. We want this. Why color is not coming? So we have shape, yes. Again, some weird thing is happening a lot. So we have fill. Let's see, in general, effects, background should be related to the line, shape, line. First of all, yeah, you can have multiple options like octagon. Okay, and yeah, fill, border, text, shadow, glow. Let's see if this is about the background. I forgot about that. Let's see in the border. Okay, the border is also having the same color. If I change this, okay, now it makes sense. Maybe we'll change a bit to 2. Yeah, 2 is I think good enough. Yeah, for some weird reason they have it in the border. Why they have it in the border? Crazily, I don't understand. It should be filled from my perspective. But anyways, this is where it is, so can't do much. Then we have these amazing part, expenses, revenue, expenses, and profit. So for this, we will going to create measures that will basically take these 3 things. So for that, what I will going to do is from home, where is that? I will click on enter data. Okay. And here we will going to create a table. We will say, let's say measure. Okay, I'll press tab and I will say maybe value or sort or rank or position, maybe position. And I'll tell you why it is needed. And I actually had to come back and add it here when I was picking up on this exercise. So first thing first is you have what? Total revenues. Double click. Total revenues. Give it 1. Oh, we don't need that. Right click, delete. We need total expenses. 2. We need profit. Sorry, total profit. Total profit 3. Okay. So why we are doing this is because if let's say we need to sort or if we need to apply any type of conditional formatting, actually conditional formatting was one of the reasons why I had to come back and add this position from the middle of my entire exercise. So that is the reason I'm just saving time for you by giving you what exactly needs to be done for this configuration. So this, because in the conditional expression, you need to, when we define the value like measure name, there is just one conditional expression that you can give. But with these numbers, you can have, based on the number of values you have, 1, 2, or 3, you can define what color should come for number 1, what color should come for number 2, what color should come for number 3. So I hope you got the idea like why we are doing it. Similarly, sorting as well, if you want to sort in any direction. And we will call this, let's say, dynamic measure, right? Let's click on load. We're going to take a couple of seconds and done. So we have this dynamic measure, right? And we have this position. What I will going to create is now the slicer that will take this measure. We have these measure. We will come into format your visual slicer settings. From this we will pick it horizontal, and this is also good enough, right? We just need to increase the text a little bit. Okay, so we have this, we have selection. We want always this to be single select. We don't want multiple selection, right? So that's one of the requirement. We have this values. Let's increase the value size so that it is clearly appearing. Should not be that big as well. Okay, so there is this, and we will make it like this much dark. Yeah. How about bold? Yeah, should be good. So again, this is something what I am following. You may not need to follow the exact same thing. Let me see how so this is how it is, showing like there is no background and it is superimposed like this one. So if I go into the formatting a little bit, this is what the value is. This is how the background is. So I will change the background to gray. Yeah. And for the entire slicer background, I will make it transparent. So this is this. Other than that, you don't have any visual border, you don't have anything. So we don't want title as well, so I'll just select that. Come over here. In general, we will okay, so visual slicer settings, slicer header, don't show the slicer header, right? So now this is done. We have this border, so it's all disabled now, and I will close the slicer settings. I think in selection we have already done single selection. For values, it's already been done. The only one thing I want to see is this border. So let me go into the general. So in general, is it there in effects? No, I think header icon is basically for this. Let me again go back and see it in the values. Yeah, there you go. So this is the color, this is the line width. How about we make it? Yeah, now it is good. Oh, what did I click? All right. So now we have this, which is very similar to how it is. So I can click over here, I can click over here, control click or what? Okay. Yeah, one more weird thing is when I'm clicking it and my mouse is on top of this, you will not see that it is clicked. Another weird thing over here. But if I remove my mouse, you will see this. If I click it over here, this is what it is. I think we probably may need to do some settings. I will just leave it for later. But I just wanted to show you if you are wondering like why you are not able to click it. Okay, with that information, what do we need to do is now configure these expressions. So to configure this, we need to create a measure, and I'll make sure that my finances fact is selected when I click on, before I click on the new measure. So I've selected that, and I want new measure to be present here. We will call this selected measure or measure selection or anything that you feel relevant in your case. Okay, selected measure. Here we were going to use the switch. So I was going to press Alt Enter, switch and expression. And here we need to provide this name. So the way we were going to provide is under the values function because it is expecting an expression. And let's call a dynamic measure, right? And then comma, and I'll press Alt Enter again. What is our value? In double quotation, total expenses And in case of total expenses, what should happen? Sum of expenses, sum of total expenses, right? I'll just make sure. So there is this total profit which is already a calculation. So sum of this, oops, I think I incorrectly hit just enter. I needed to enter alt enter, alt enter, alt enter, come up. Total expenses. After total expenses, we have, I think, what? Total profit. Okay, total expenses is second one. Total revenues. Total revenues is sum of total revenues, comma, alt enter, and then we have what? Total profits. Total profits, and let's give it, put it under sum, what? Total profits. Okay, else, again I pressed enter, alt enter, 0. All right, so it is working. Now what can we do just to test it is we bring in the slicer, not the slicer, sorry, the card, right? And in the card, what do we need is basically, let's just reduce it a little bit. We need the selected measure, so let's select that. So now my total revenue is selected, so that's what you are getting. Then you have the total profit, nothing is coming. You have total expenses, and 75.74 billion is coming. So for some reason, total profit is not coming, and that's what I was telling you, because it is a measure already. I think we created it earlier, and this is how it is being calculated. Okay, so what we can do is come over here in our selected measure, and then basically we need to just make some arrangement for total profits. So one thing I think is a problematic is it's not profits, but it was total profit, I guess. If I click it, yeah, there you go. Thank God I remember it before moving into a lot of calculation. So yeah, this is what it is coming, as you can see, right? And over here we want to show what we are selecting. Otherwise it will be difficult for us to know just with the help of selected measure, like what is being selected. So this is selected. Let's come it over here. We have this call out value. Let's just reduce it a little bit because we need bit more space. 38, 35 should be good. So this is this. Category label, I don't think we need category label. And in the title, let's enable the title. And if you see, title is expression driven. So we can click over here, and this is field value, and this should be based on what? Dynamic measure, right? Okay, so you got total expenses, total profit, total revenues. All right, let's just reduce this just so that it is up until here. And we also make it just 1 decimal point. Should be good. However, one thing what we are going to utilize is this as our header. So the way I want to do it is like this. I want to make it a little bit big, 30 bold. Okay, this is good enough. If we bring it up here a little bit inside, so what I'm basically trying to do is, if you see, if I come over here, this is what the total expenses is, and it should change if I, let's say, clicking it over total revenues, total profit, right? So what we need along with this is basically a text not the text box, sorry, but we need a shape. So we first take first shape. I will probably bring it somewhere here, and this will be little bit inside the okay, because I'm just trying to follow like what is being done here. So this is a little bit smaller, this section, so I can make it a bit smaller and make it like centralized. Okay, and then we have total profits like this. So first thing first is we need to use this as the change in color. So in style, color, you can FX, and this is where you would need that 1, 2 and 3. So this needs to be based on rule. What should be based on is basically position. So we have what? We have declared it by like this, but in actually it is reversed. So the way what we can do is, first thing first is, if it is equals to what, 1, right? So it should be what, dark blue, correct? New rule, if it is equals to 2, then it should be light blue, right? And is number. And this one, if it is 3, then this one, if you remember, that's the color I chose. And if I click OK, so total expenses is coming like this, total profit. Ooh, this is crazy. Sort axis, sort ascending. Okay, sort axis, sort descending. Total revenues, total profit, total expenses. Let's just quickly see our table. I just want to recollect. Oh, Control Z, and I just select this table, and we should have measure and position. So total profit is number 3, total revenue is 1. So revenue is 1, expenses is 2, and profit is 3. Revenue, expenses, and profit. So that's the only thing we need to remember now. So first thing first is, revenue is number 1. So this is what it should be. I think the mismatch is between is this, expenses and profit. This needs to swap. So if I just come here in the style, where is that? Color. So yeah, if you see number 2, but the total profit is number 3. So this is number 3. So this should change to this, and this should change to this, and we should be good, right? Yeah, there you go. Yep. That's the small configuration we need to make, and now we can delete this table. All good. We just need to make this go back. So I will going to choose the view and selection control panel, and I will make it like the last one. So my total revenues are coming. If I click outside here, right? So along with this, if you see, if I come here, there is this white box as well. So we need to bring one more box. That's the level of basically a little bit of format. You can say formatting, you can say designing. We need to do maybe till here. Little it. Come on. Yeah, and in the shape, rotation, style, will I get the width? General, and in properties, yep, we have width. Let's just increase little bit. Yeah, that should be good. And if I increase now, this is some of those things which makes a difference between a professionally looking app and something which is, sorry about that, some email. Okay, we have this, we have effect. Okay, sorry, not in the shape but in the color. Let's just make it white, right? So now you see, you will get a feeling that only this thing is changing, nothing else. We need to bring this shape over here. Perfect. Now if I just take this up here, total revenues 79 billion. Here in this case, let's just close this, come over here, call out value, color, let's say in the background, effects, make it 100% transparent, and let's make it title white. Okay, so now it's making sense. Total profit, total expenses. Cool. All right. Yeah, this is okay. I'm just thinking, should I reduce this a little bit so that I get a space? All right. Now this is done. What we need to create, if you see, we need to create these three different measures where we need it for current year, previous year, and YOY. So we'll create next piece and need to put it on the multi-card row. Okay, come back here. So to create the first measure, I'll just make sure I select this and I'll click over here. In the measure, I will say the same label, selected year CY. Okay, no, selected metric CY, current year. And here we will going to basically use bit of a settings here like variable to first of all find out max underscore year or maximum year, and this max year is basically based on this year field. We have it down here, right? So the way we need to, it's quite simple, max, right, year, here, and we select it. Where is that? There you go. Max here is this. Okay, alt enter. We will say return, alt enter, and we will say now calculate. Expression is your selected metric, selected measure, comma, year, again, year equals to max year, and let's just close that and see if we get an output. Selected metric current year. What I will going to do is select this multi-row card. Okay, so here we have it, the first one. What I will going to do is I will just select this, Control C. Should I select this, new measure, and paste it. Selected matrix previous year, right? and we will call it very simple, -1. We will give it previous year, right, and previous year. I have a doubt on that, but let's see. I can't remember what I did earlier. If I select this, selected metric previous year, all right, it works, as you can see, right? And then we have what, year over year. So for that, again, I will just need to make sure that I select this, and we call it selected metric YOY, and this should be basically your divide function. So selected current year minus selected previous year metric, right? So this is this divided by previous year, sorry, comma, denominator is, yeah, even we don't need brackets here because we need a comma, PY, should be good, done. Selected metric YOY, it should be percentages, and if I select this, 7.6%, and we can check this, what is total revenue, right? 7.6%, 8.3, 7.7, 7.75. Okay, very good. It's working. Beautiful. Correct. And so we have this. If you want to increase the font a little bit, you can select this, come into the formatting, you have call out values, just increase the font of values, should be good. So we have this, let's just make it a little bit aligned. Okay. All right, here is selection. So now we can create two charts. One is this and one is this. So I'll create this first because it allows conditional formatting as compared to this. So this is by conference and it's selected measure. So it should be very simple one. I will simply select, where is that? This chart, clustered column chart, but horizontal. Okay, bring it down, let's say till here, and we need a conference dimension abbreviation on the on the x-axis, no, on the y-axis, and we need the selected measure over here. Am I doing something wrong? Let's just do this, selected measure, yeah, should be good. Okay, we don't need this and this unnecessary labels. So I'll go into the Y and check the title. I'll go into the X and check the title, right? What title they have given by conference, we can give the similar title by going into the general title. By conference, right? We can even give expression, so be creative over here. Let's just increase this size, and over here in the visual we have the bars, we have the color, and let's just choose this. Again, I will going to choose the rules, and the rules is based on dynamic measure, right? And count, rules, count of measure, no, measure, count, okay, count is also, no, not the count, this one. That is why this is a text, you will not going to get anything. We need position. And now we can have 1, 2 and 3. So we have 1, which is this, and I think new rule. 2 is your expenses. So I will going to select this, and 3 is your profit. So I'll select this, make this change, and make it this. Also, we need to make sure that we change from percent to number. All right, and I can click OK. So now you see this is all matching. Profit matching, expenses matching properly. We have done this. Final thing is we need to have this as well. So I'll just select this, copy and paste, reduce this, probably, yeah, put it over here, change this to what, an area chart. Okay, so now it is changing. First of all, that I want to make sure. The second thing is what it needs is by year the selected measure. So if I select this selected measure, we need it by year, and I'll close this, right? And then we have this value. It needs a bit of formatting, as you can see. Or if you like this circles, that's also okay. But whole idea I wanted to give you is it's quite straightforward when we click this. Okay, if you want to remove this, first of all, I will remove the title. I'll just come here. Let's just go to general. Title is done. And over here, I think in the lines, we have this line join type round. We call it filter. Well, 0. And color is something we have already done. So now you see the color is something we cannot change it here. So I took the advantages of the conditional formatting, and it's also a trick in a way, if you see. So okay, I need to press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Somewhere it was changing it, and now it feels like it is not changing the color. Okay, let me just delete this, copy and paste. Again over here, selected measure. I will just remove that and give it what this. Selected measure, change this to an area chart. Profit, this. Okay, so I was hoping that we were going to get it, and somehow I was getting an impression that so it's the only that color which is changing. So one thing we may do is we need mostly the line, so we can reduce we can on this area we have plot area background, or not the plot area background, we have the line color, selected measure. Yeah, so color is changing based on the line but not based on the area. So let me see if anything. Oh, there you go. Let me just find it before I spent a lot of time over here. So on this, actually we can do one more thing. I was just thinking in the background what we can do. We can actually add the legend, which should be based on measure, right? Here is our measure legend, and if you see, if you're trying to change this, it is changing the color. So it's just that we need to set the right colors now. That should be all. So if I select this, go over there, series, labels, lines, colors, I will find the legend. Okay, legend is on. Where is that? Top left. And title, match line color. This is good. I think what we need to do is we need to basically have the legends selected, and then it should change the color. They are picking up the color. It's just that we need to change the color so that it is line style. So this is fine. This is also fine. Font, title. Okay, I was working in a background and I found it under lines, and this is what the total profit is. As you can see, it is changing based on this total profit area transparency. If you want to make it like a little bit less transparent, so it will be part of this. Now if I click on total revenues, again we need to select this individual lines. Just need to make sure that color is as per our needs. Correct. Total expenses, select lines, colors, and should be this, right? So if you want, you can even further reduce it for this, and this should basically give us we need from our visualization. So yeah, this one is bit long, bit tricky, a lot of things we covered, but you can see overall we have created something that is useful for our users. Also, I can come over here and reduce the remove this title, right? And this basically shows by total expenses. I don't know if I can go to the tooltip. Text is fine. Oh, not the tooltips, but I guess the legend over here. Mark a circle inside default. We don't need the title. Yep. Or if you don't need the legend at all, just remove it, because you are anyway selecting it at the top. So that's pretty much it, what I wanted to show you. I hope you enjoyed this exercise and found some new tips and tricks. I highly recommend that we practice this for various different types of visualization to create a stunning, simple but effective visualization for your end user. Let me know how did you find it out in the comments. If there is any question, queries, feel free to reach out, and we'll meet in the next video with some new exercise.